John Wick proceeds to a warehouse owned by Abram Tarasov to retrieve his vehicle. Abram seeks revenge against John for the deaths of his brother Vigo and nephew Iosef. John eliminates all of Abram's guards before finally reaching his car. As he drives away, a multitude of Abram's henchmen begin to assault John. His vehicle sustains damage, and the henchmen collide with John using their cars, yet he remains determined and swiftly dispatches all the goons before heading to Abram's office. John pours drinks for both himself and Abram, opting to spare Abram as a gesture of peace. Abram inquires whether John can truly attain peace. John returns home to the still unnamed dog he rescued at the conclusion of the first film. He contacts Aurelio to retrieve the car, which is in complete disarray. Nevertheless, Aurelio asserts that he can repair it. After Aurelio departs, John reburies his weapons beneath cement, feeling that he has left the life of an assassin behind. He views a video on his phone featuring himself and his deceased wife Helen. Later that evening, John is approached by another assassin named Santino D'Antonio. Santino presents John with a marker that John had given him, which serves as a blood oath to exit the assassin life when he chose to be with Helen. Santino requests that John kill his sister Gianna, who is poised to ascend to the High Table, a council of influential assassins. John declines, fully aware of the consequences of his refusal. After leaving John's residence, Santino retrieves an RPG launcher to obliterate John's home. Fortunately, the dog survives this ordeal. John visits the Continental Hotel to meet Winston in order to discuss the marker and the requests made by Santino. Winston finds himself unable to intervene, as John has taken the oath, and should he continue to refuse it, his life will be at stake. Subsequently, John departs, leaving his dog in the care of the hotel's concierge Sharon. John travels to Rome to fulfill the task at hand. He checks into the Continental there, which is owned by Julius. John then meets with various individuals to acquire the weapons necessary to eliminate Gianna. John attends a gathering that serves as Gianna's coronation. She is accompanied by her devoted bodyguard, Cassian. John confronts Gianna in solitude, informing her that Santino has sent him. She opts to end her life on her own terms and proceeds to slit her wrists. Gianna lies in a pool of her own blood as she succumbs to death. John holds her hand and shoots her in the head to create the appearance that he was her killer. As John is leaving, Cassian notices him. Aware that John has returned to work, Cassian attempts to draw his weapon on John, but John is quicker. He escapes and begins to eliminate the other hitmen who pursue him upon discovering Gianna's demise. John kills them all as he makes his getaway. Cassian catches up to him, and they engage in a fight that culminates in them crashing through a window of the Continental. Given that no blood can be shed on Continental property, John and Cassian take a seat at the bar to steady their nerves with drinks. John elaborates on the marker and explains that Santino sent him to kill his sister. Cassian comprehends the situation but cannot allow the murderer of his ward to go unpunished. He pays for John's drink and departs. John then notices Ares, Santino's mute bodyguard, who communicates to him through sign language that they will meet again. As John makes his way back to New York City, Santino issues a $7 million contract for John's assassination. This contract is sent out to all the concealed assassins in the vicinity. A violinist in the subway draws a gun concealed within her violin and attempts to kill John, but he overpowers her and breaks her neck. An overweight Asian man pursues John but ends up getting shot in the head. Two men in the subway attempt to join the fray, and John ruthlessly eliminates them using a pencil. Cassian encounters John as he boards the subway and engages him in a fight on the train. John stabs Cassian, driving the knife into his aorta, warning him that if he removes the knife, he will bleed out. John abandons Cassian on the subway. He then encounters an assassin disguised as a homeless man who offers assistance while two assassin janitors pursue him. The homeless assassin takes out the janitors. John seeks refuge with the Bowery King, an assassin who previously had an encounter with John and bears a scar on his neck as a result. John had spared his life, leading the Bowery King to view himself as invincible. He is also aware of the bounty placed on John's head. With the Bowery King's assistance, John is able to track down Santino's location. John proceeds to a museum where Santino is scheduled to take his seat at the high table. John crashes the event and begins to confront all of Santino's men. He chases Santino through a hall of mirrors before having to battle Ares. John successfully stabs Ares and leaves her to perish. Santino hastens to the Continental to find safety, fully aware that he is untouchable there. John discovers him in the lounge. Winston, understanding John's intentions, attempts to pacify him. Nevertheless, John shoots Santino in the head. He then goes to retrieve his dog from Sharon. The following day, John takes his dog to the park to meet Winston. Winston informs John that due to his actions on Continental grounds, the High Table has increased the contract and disseminated it to every assassin worldwide. Winston is compelled to declare John as Excommunicado, but he grants him 1 hour before the contract is activated. It soon becomes clear that every individual in the park is an assassin, all fixated on John. John warns Winston to inform everyone that if they pursue him, he will eliminate them all. Winston consents. John departs as Winston spreads the word. Each passerby glances at John, aware of his identity and their intentions. John is left with no choice but to take his dog and continue fleeing.